What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Life's a Garden. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and follow on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. Rate and review, share with a friend, help grow this garden. It is very much appreciated. Today's positive motivational message. Make sure you take the time to let your family and your friends know how much you love them. What more fitting time? We just celebrated Valentine's Day. Love is in the air, and I know what you're thinking. I talk shit on Valentine's Day every year, and I don't take it back. It is indeed one of the most ridiculous holidays that we have. However, the sentiment behind Valentine's Day is good, and I do appreciate it. It doesn't need to be reserved to one single day. Tell your friends, tell your family, the ones closest to you, how much you care about them, what they mean to you. Express your love for them and let them know. And I think it's, honestly, I'm not even going to go as far as to say, you never know, because you never know when you might not get to say it again. I don't even like that as a motivating factor to tell your friends and your family that you love them. Do it because you genuinely love them. You don't have to do it out of fear that you're never going to see them again, or today might be the last day and you never know when your time is up. I don't like that as a motivator. Don't do it out of fear. Do it out of love. Do it out of genuine caring and genuine compassion for your loved ones. So make sure you tell anyone close to you, the ones that you care about the most, that you love them. And with that, let's get into today's episode. It's episode 239 of Life's a Garden. Nothing like a hot cup of joe to get the day started, am I right? Thank you all so much for tuning in. Welcome to a brand new episode of Life's a Garden. Hope you are having a fantastic day. I can tell you that your boy is having a pretty damn good day because, for once, I won myself a little money. I won a little money gambling last night, which, hey, if there's any advice I can give to anybody out there, don't gamble. It's not really worth it all that much. I mean, there is a thrill to it. There's a reason people love it. There's a reason people get addicted to it. And I hate to say it, and I hate to admit it, but I think I got that addiction. It's fun to have a little risk reward. There is an adrenaline that you get when you win big money. You know what I'm saying? But I won last night, and it was a good feeling. I just wanted to preface by saying, I don't condone gambling. If you have a gambling problem, seek help. It is a problem. It can be a problem. So long as you're being responsible, and, I just want to put that out there, because I'm not here to promote, any sort of harmful activities. But yeah, I like to gamble a little bit. You know me. I like to do my sports betting. Unfortunately, I didn't win on that because there's really no sports on at the current moment. We're in the middle of, we just got done with the Super Bowl, so no football. Baseball hasn't started yet. We're in the All-Star break for hockey and basketball. So there's nothing to genuinely bet on. Probably for the best, because I'm so bad at it. As much as I know sports and love sports, I'm not good at that. It is still fun to have a little action on a game or a fight or something like that. Poker, I love me some poker. It's fun to sit and chill with some people, and it's a slower pace. You're not just throwing in a machine and it's lose, 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 right? But I didn't win on that either. As much as I love poker. And guess what? I don't know if you believe this or not. I'm not very good at poker either. I get lucky at poker. You know, that's part of the game. Luck. But you kind of got to know what you're doing a little bit. You know, you got to know how to when to bet and how much to bet and what's going to scare people off, what's not, what hands. You know, you take some risk. You know, you're gambling a little bit on what's going to be on the turn in the river and all that shit. But I didn't win it on poker. Oh, no. I did it the old-fashioned way. The machines. The way I actually hate the most. I do hate machine gambling. Just because it feels so manufactured, artificial type of thing where you're just like, you know, plug and play, you throw the money in, it can go like that. It's fun when it plays with you, but honestly, very rarely does it. But I was on fire last night. 4 different machines. I hit bonuses in all 4 of them. So first machine, I hit a bonus one for like $100 because I'm the type of guy that I'm not going to just like, if I hit big, I'm taking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to just like be a dummy and try and be like, oh, this machine's hot. Like, that does happen. I've seen it happen. I'm just not that guy. Because I lose so goddamn much, I'm like, I'll take a win when I get it. Won $100 on that one. You know, this is, I'm taking out the money I'm taking out the factor of the money that I put into the machine and tip. So I won $100 on that one. Went over to this other machine, hit another huge bonus, cashed that one out for like $230, something like that. So I'm like, you know, I'm not going to be done. Like, I'm going to play until I lose. Go to the next machine, hit a bonus. I think I cashed out on that one for like $60, $80, something like that. Pop over to the next machine, 40 more bucks. And then finally ended up losing. I was like, okay, we're just going to tap out here, take my money and run. Just had a lucky streak, and it is fun. Now, the problem with that is, whenever you win like that, you have this urge to chase that dragon and try and win again. Like, you're like, I want that feeling, I want that rush. That's where you got to really check yourself and really kind of like try and maintain a little bit, because that's where the problem comes in. The last thing I wanted to do was take all that money and just blow it and lose it all right away. Which I did not, thankfully. But honestly, this could not have happened at a better time, because work has been slow. It's that time of year, you know, it's cold weather. People don't necessarily want to come out and buy cars. So we're not getting trade-ins for me to work on. We got 5 guys in my department, so, you know, work gets spread thin, if there is any at all. I did manage to, you know, get 80 hours in, which I'm not going to try and explain my pay, the way my pay works. It's not hourly. I get paid by the job. So I made the equivalent of 80 hours. I'm used to making a lot more than that. So I'm just happy enough to have got my 80, and I made a normal amount that for like a work period. You know what I'm saying? I'm at least thankful for that. But again, you know, my paycheck's going to be considerably less than what I'm used to. So this winning streak, this hot streak, it honestly came at the best time. And you know me, I'm not hurting for money. I'm not like scrounging for scraps. You know, I'm doing pretty well, but I don't want to have to like dip into my savings and stuff. Like, I want to be able to save that and make it last. So I would like to get a decent paycheck and like just live off of that and not have to worry about dipping into other money. But like I said, it was nice to have that little extra change, that little extra cheddar come my way. And plus, I'm gonna be honest with you, it does feel nice when you're feeling lucky like that. When just things are going good. I mean, it sucks when it's the other way. Trust me, it sucks. But it is pretty fun feeling when you're like, damn, dude, I just can't miss. I'm batting 100 here. So that's how that started. On the opposite side of that, besides the luck and the gambling, did indulge in a few beverages. Now, I did want to bring this up because I was kind of updating you guys on my little health journey, and I kind of stopped doing updates, so I figured I'd bring that back into it, let you know where I'm at. I will fully admit, I've slipped up pretty badly when it comes to the alcohol side of it. Just overconsumption from time. And it's not necessarily like through the week like it was before, so that's nice. I'm not drinking like every day of the week. It's just going hard on the weekends, which there's a level to that I'm willing to be able to accept. But then, I need to dial it back, is the point I'm making. I was doing very good there. And then it's like, you let off the gas just a little bit, and man, it's like, it's slow, you slow your roll just a little bit on your progress and on what you've been working for. And it can derail pretty fast, and I did. Now, on the other side of that, I have been sticking to eating fairly well. I've slipped up from time to time, but for the most, I've done a lot better than I was previously. And I feel that. Like, I've noticed a difference. And I'm going to keep on that. I don't hope to derail that train. And the workouts, I'm still consistently working out. Like, at least 4 days a week. I'm trying for 5. Like, that's what I'd like to do. 5 days 5 days a week. Last week I did kind of hurt myself a little bit, so I slowed down and I let myself heal up a little bit, just like a little shoulder tweak. I didn't want to like push into anything and like hurt myself further. So that slowed me down last week. And then this week, I got a little lazy. I worked out 4 days straight in a row, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday I just got lazy. I wanted to. Probably not going to. My God. I apologize. I'm feeling a little sniffly, Like do you ever get that feeling, that little tingle right just in your sinus area where you're like, God damn it, am I getting sick? Like, please don't let this be a sickness. It would just kill me. I hate when it's coming. Like the sickness is on its way. So I'm hoping that's not the case. Where was I? Just I got lazy. I'm probably not gonna. Today's Saturday. It's already, what time is it right now? Like 4 o'clock, almost 4 o'clock on a Saturday. Because I slept until noon. I told you I went a little hard last night. So I probably won't work out today just because I just want to rest. Hopefully I'll work out Sunday. I'm just trying to stay regimented on this workout program because, let me tell you, I have seen tremendous progress. And when you see the progress, when you see like, oh man, you start eating better, my waist is thinning out a little bit, my pants are fitting a little bit looser, not so snug. My gut's not, I don't feel so bloated like an idiot. I don't feel gross. And, you start seeing some development in your muscles. You're like, damn, dude, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I'm looking pretty decent, at least in my own eyes. I can't help what other people think, but, I'm confident in what and I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, is all I'm saying. So that is a motivator in itself to keep on this path and keep doing what I'm doing. I recognize that I needed to dial back the drinking. And that is a goal for this week for me, is just dial it back. I mean, I don't plan on, never drink. It's like, I'm not off. I'm not trying to take a huge break here like I was before. That's not part of the goal. But just dial it back. No need to go super hard. Like, avoid taking shots. How about that? That'll help. Maybe just drink 2 days a week, Friday, Saturday. That's fine. Rest of the week, just chill, relax, recover, work out, eat right. That's the plan. I did slip up a little bit. Like I said, I kept on the other stuff. The other stuff is good. I could probably stand to eat a little bit better than I have been. But so far, it's not been too bad. I'm not, like, getting crazy. Have indulged myself in some Taco Bell a couple weekends in a row, which, I will say, and don't listen to me for health advice, trust me, but I have heard, and this sounds crazy, like this seems inaccurate, but I have heard that Taco Bell is actually one of the more healthy options when it comes to fast food. Why? I don't know. Is it less carbs? That meat seems very suspicious. I don't know what animal that came off of. It's it's processed as hell. So why it might be one of the healthier options? You got me. I'm just telling you what I heard. And of course, I'm not going to let that. I'm going to use that as as an excuse to get some Taco Bell. I'm like, oh well, shit. Might as well just go with the healthiest option, right? So yeah, I thought about it last week. I was like, I haven't really talked about like because I obviously had told you guys that I fell off the drinking thing, and I wanted to admit it to myself and to everybody here that yeah, I slipped up and I've maybe gone a little bit too far the other direction. It's time to find a balance, find that middle where everything is healthy for myself and just overall mental health, physical health. Let's find balance because balance is good. So yeah. Okay. We're gonna turn it here a little bit. This is not necessarily something I wanted to have to talk about. This podcast is about positivity and just trying to talk about good things and bring light into the world and just, it's supposed to be positive. And sometimes you got to talk about not so positive things. And I hate bringing this up 15 minutes into the episode. I don't want to start it off on a bad note. But unfortunately, I feel an obligation to talk about this. Everybody by now heard about the tragedy that took place in Wyoming over the week. If you don't know, a mother of four daughters, shot and killed the four of them and herself. Tragedy. Now, I last I had heard, one of the daughters was in critical condition, but still alive. I don't know any updates on that. I do know that 3 of the 4 did pass away, and the mother did as well. First things first, I just want to send my condolences and my sympathies and my just absolute heart to the family, to the father. I mean, I can't even fucking imagine. I can't fathom what goes through a father's head. Losing your entire family at the hands of your spouse. So there's no words. There's no words that I can say that will ever make it better. And I can't express sympathy enough. My heart breaks for this entire situation, for everything. It's unthinkable that a mother could do this to her own children. 9 years old, 7 years old, and 2 2-year-olds. I mean, I can't imagine anybody being able to do that, much less a parent. It's it's so hard to even process and think that this is real. Like, this could actually happen. One thing I did notice, because this is something that, because it is so close to home here in Montana, anytime a tragedy like this happens, you feel for, just, your heart breaks, This became national news, so this goes beyond this region. But there is something about it being so close to home that just strikes a chord. And I know there's people on my Facebook, I know who they are, obviously I'm not dear friends with everybody on my Facebook, but I've seen people on Facebook saying that they know that guy, or they know the family, they know the father, they know somebody else who knows, kind of a thing. So it's close to home, really. When you have connections to people that know the family, that's tough. And so, of course, everybody around this area, has an opinion and is posting about it and is like, sharing their thoughts and sending their love. But a consistent trend that I was noticing was particularly women I want to be very careful here about using the word defend. I don't believe, let me make this very clear, I don't believe anybody's intention is to defend the actions of this woman, or to make excuses for what happened. I don't think I think anybody in their right mind believes and truly understands how tragic of a situation this is. But there was a good amount of women talking about postpartum depression. Like, this was a causation of postpartum depression, and that this is obviously a tragedy, and this is something that we need to bring awareness to. And I agree. That is a real thing, postpartum depression. It's a real thing, and there have been instances where mothers harmed and even killed their children due to postpartum depression. I fully agree with the fact that this needs to be something that is talked about, addressed, and helped and fixed. Any type of depression, not just postpartum depression, any type of mental illness or mental trauma should be addressed. But it feels a little bit disturbing to bring that as a possibility when we don't know that was the case, right? I mean, I feel like that's a bit of an assumption to make, that this happened because of postpartum depression. It seems likely due to the fact that she had a young child. So it does seem like a good, decent possibility that could have been the case. But I don't know that it's necessary to make an assumption when, and I don't know if perhaps it was documented, or that it had been known that she was dealing with something like that. If that were the case, yes, perhaps more should have been done to help and to maybe alleviate the situation. I don't know. I never saw any articles or anything that mentioned where she had postpartum depression. And even if that were the case, okay, again, it feels like it could very well be the case Again, I didn't see anything that was stating that was true. Even if that were the case, though, it doesn't change the fact that this happened. And again, I think for most people, it's not to make an excuse. Rather, it's to try and understand how something so tragic could happen. I think it's more for somebody else, for the person that's trying to like just wrap their head around this, to try and maybe have an answer. But in my personal opinion, it doesn't matter. I agree. People need to, like, mental health needs to be an addressed thing. It doesn't change the fact that what this woman did was horrifying and just the worst possible thing that you could ever imagine somebody doing. It doesn't change the fact that this woman's a monster for what she did. And I don't want to be this guy, okay? I don't want to be the guy that's like, well, if the dad had done it. But let's be completely honest with ourselves. If the father had done this, would we be having the same reaction? Would people be trying to come up with possible reason for this? Would they be trying to sympathize with the mother or with the father in that case? Would they be trying to like understand it more, or would they just absolutely be like, what a monster? How could somebody do this? They'd be pointing the finger and be like, this is horrible. This guy's the worst. They would never try and come up with a. I'm really trying not to use the word excuse. They wouldn't be trying to come up with reason. They would just disown and hate. And I have a perfect example for you. Chris Benoit. It made me think of Chris Benoit in this scenario. Chris Benoit was a professional wrestler who murdered his son, his wife, and himself. Everybody, to this day, considers Chris Benoit a monster, including myself. And it has been determined that he suffered from CTE due to head trauma. He was mentally unwell. Anybody who commits atrocity, anybody who murders, anybody who is willing and able to take a life is mentally unwell. We don't make excuses for, and here I am using the word excuses, and you know what? I'm not going to be able to avoid it. So, I'm not trying to berate people about this. I'm just trying to make a point, and I'm trying to you can't. I think maybe because it was a mother that did this, which this isn't like the first time this has ever happened where a mother took the life of their kids. This is just unfathomable to think that they could, I think, yeah, anyway. But I think about Chris Benoit. And like I said, you don't make excuses for a guy like Jeffrey Dahmer or, Ted Bundy or anybody who would take a life. They're all mentally unwell. We can't change our tune because of a certain situation. If you take a life, especially the life of a child, you are a monster. And no amount of mental instability will change my opinion about that. Absolutely crushed for this father. I don't even know, my heart breaks for the entire community, the world, for even having to know that this is possible, that something like this could happen. I'll leave a link in my, I believe out there is a GoFundMe to help with the family. I'll leave a link if I can. I'll try and find that link, and I will leave it in the description so you can, if you want to donate to the cause and help this family and help. I mean, no amount of money, no amount of anything could possibly help and make anybody be able to understand. But yeah, just send your prayers. Really, I mean, that does nothing either. That does nothing either. But all we can do is love and care, and that's why I said in the beginning, make sure to tell your family you love them. Not just because you never know when it might be their last day, but let them know because you love them and because you genuinely do care. And again, I just want to make it very clear, I'm not trying to berate anybody for trying to understand why this could happen. But you can't sympathize with monstrous behavior like this. You can't. And again, I 100% agree that mental health is an issue. It should be addressed. We need to focus on that more to avoid tragedies like this. So I just want to make that clear that I am upon that side. Yeah. So how do you move on in the episode after something like that? The best way we know how. With positivity. You counter darkness with light. You counter darkness with good, positive, happy thoughts. One thing that a show I watched recently, one of my favorite shows of all time. It is funny how when bad things happen, you can find comfort in a good TV show. In something to make you laugh or something to make you smile. That's what that's one recommendation I could have to help, if you're ever feeling down, turn on a good show. And I recently watched one of my favorite shows, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've seen this show probably, I don't know, 8 times now through. Nah, probably like 5 or 6 times all the way through. It's an easy watch. It's only like 3 seasons worth of a show. It's a cartoon. But every time I rewatch it, I'm reminded why it is in fact in my top 5 all-time favorite shows. It's so good. I mean, from funny to just lighthearted to action-packed. The artwork is beautiful. The storyline is tremendous. It's just one of the greatest stories of all time. And the characters. You will not find a show that just has better character development, character arc. It's fantastic. If you have not watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, I highly recommend it. It is by far, it's easily in my top 5 all-time favorite shows. Like, there's not even a discussion about it. That's how good the story is. And say what you will if it's made for kids or whatever. Like, yes, it is made for all ages. Anybody can enjoy that show. And I'll watch it again. Like, this is not my last time watching this show. It's just, and I'm not going to try and, for anybody who hasn't seen it, I'm not going to spoil anything. Even though it's been out since, 04? Something like that? 04, 05, I think is when it came out. So there's really no spoilers to be had. They're out there. But highly recommend that watch. Like, it is just a great, great show. Other show, not one that I've been watching, but good old TLC, man. TLC is back at it again. highlighting what they do. What they do, here's what TLC is, right? The TLC network takes people who are abnormal and they make a show about their life. And the latest addition to this is the Tourette's girl. What is her name? I don't want to just call her the Tourette's girl. But she was famous on TikTok, I believe. I've actually seen plenty of her TikToks. Very sweet girl, very likable. And she has severe Tourette's. There's different levels of Tourette's. I've seen it where people just have like a small tick and it's almost barely noticeable. TLC Tourette's. Yeah. Balin. That's her name. Balin. And the show, I think, is called, what is the show called? I can't find the name of the show. It's on, Balin Out Loud. That's the name of the show. But no, she has, very, heavy auditory tics. It is, Tourette's itself is very odd. It's so weird, the human body, It is weird, random things like that, your brain, or I don't even know what really causes Tourette's. It's got to be a malfunction of the brain, right? The synapses and all this shit just fire differently, I would suppose. That's one thing that the show is supposed to be for, is to bring awareness and understanding to Tourette's, which is good. It's good. I mean, I think it's pretty great of TLC to just make all their money on what's the word I'm looking, exploiting people and their diseases or their misfortunes of their health and lives. The 600-pound girls and the girl that looked like she was 16. Remember that girl? She's actually 25 and she looks like she's 12 or something like that. There's the little people shows. So that's all TLC does, is they find somebody with an abnormality and they make a show about them. I'm fine with the whole bringing awareness thing and an understanding. Nothing against that. And let's be completely honest here, okay? They probably wouldn't have done this show if this girl wasn't attractive. She does have a really good personality. That's a huge part of it too. She's very likable, but she is attractive. And I think that, unfortunately, not unfortunately, it does sell TV. It does sell just an attractive girl. And yes, she's old enough, so I can say that. I think she's old enough. She's pretty. She's pretty. Let's say that, just to cover my bases. But I had seen her on TikTok before. She obviously already had, she had a sense of entertainment already. She was already, an entertaining person. She's got good personality. But I was just I keep seeing this come up about, and obviously, if you can make a bag, if you can make some money on your deficiency or whatever you have going on, hey, go for it. If I could make money for being bald, I would. Unfortunately, there's way too many people out there that are bald. And yeah, if I had any sort of deficiency or any sort of, abnormality about myself, and somebody approached me and was like, hey, you want to make some money so people can see on TV with whatever you got going on with you? Hell yeah. I mean, God already cursed me with this issue. I might as well make a little scratch off of it. So absolutely understandable on her side of it for that, and all the others that are on TLC. 100% would do the same. I am curious to watch this show, though. I actually might check it out because she is likable. And Tourette, again, I think my brain has a hard time really understanding Tourette's. You know what I mean? It's just, there's more than that. You know, like, I'm trying to think of other kind of, one that I was thinking of was, you ever heard of, foreign language syndrome? Where there's a language portion of your brain, and if you, damage it, you can legitimately start speaking in foreign accent syndrome is what it is. Not foreign language. You're not just going to learn a new language. But you'll start speaking in a foreign accent. Isn't that bizarre? Doesn't that blow your mind? Like, that's how powerful the brain is. Like, you just shut off one little part of it, and all of a sudden, like, now I speak in a French accent, or now I speak in a Canadian accent. Like, you know how weird that is? Because you know what they sound like. And oh man. Or I saw another one recently where this guy, it's the same deal that the Joker has in the movie Joker, where he can't help but laugh. I just saw a thing where this guy, like, legitimately, like, hurt his head, or I think it was actually a botched surgery or something like that messed with his brain. And now he can't not laugh. Like, he just laughs all the time. It's so crazy to me to think, like, just stuff like that is real. Like, you're literally short-circuiting. Like a computer. Like, your brain, they always, they say your brain is like a computer. But it's a short circuit in the brain. And just some of that stuff just blows my mind. I mean, it doesn't seem so wild to think that, you can damage your brain and then lose the ability to speak, or lose your sight, or, some senses and some, like, your reaction time, things like that. Mobility. But to think that your brain could literally, like, there's part of your brain that if the wires cross a certain way, you speak in a totally different accent than what you're used to. That blows my mind. If I was going to get that shit, I mean, obviously an Irish accent would be very fitting for me. But I'll take an English accent. Not a Cockney English accent. Give me one of those, like, highbrow, super, give me one that the ladies would like. French wouldn't be bad either. Spanish. God, could you imagine me walking around with a Spanish accent? That actually wouldn't be too bad. Because if you look at a guy like Canelo Alvarez, he's a white guy with a red beard, and he's Spanish, so I guess that wouldn't be too bad. What if I just started speaking, like, in a black guy, like, what if I start, like, what I'm trying to think of what you would call that, like, urban? Like, what if I spoke, like, very urban? People would think, like, I'm making fun of people, or I'm, like, being a dickhead about it, and it's like, dude, I'm sorry, I have foreign accent syndrome. Like, I'm trying to think of other, like, problematic accents that coming out of this mouth, people would be like, seems a little racist, or a little problematic. Oh, what if I had, like, a Valley Girl accent? What if that shit happened? What if I guess I don't, or like a very flamboyant gay accent. I'm just like, hey, like, people, and especially if you already knew who I was, they'd be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you trying to, who are you trying to make fun of? I'm like, nobody. Oh, like a Jewish accent, like that, like a Yiddish type accent. That might be problematic. Oh, buddy. It's just so weird, the brain. The things that the brain is even capable of doing. Let's see what else is going on in the news. Elon Musk. People cannot stop. I mean, here's my position on the Elon Musk thing, right? Because everybody's got an opinion. I like that they're exposing this. I kind of talked about it a little bit last week with the USAID and all that stuff, and just the amount of taxpayer dollars that go to just some of these ridiculous places where it's embezzlement, or it's some kind of like corruption. There's something corrupt going on with some of these places that this money's going. So I am all for exposing that and getting rid of government waste and giving money back to the taxpayers and letting the taxpayers make money that they deserve. I'm all for that. I'm all for exposing corruption in general. Now, I do think there is something to be said about Elon Musk, who is a foreign-born guy. I think he's brilliant. I think he's one of our modern-day geniuses when it comes to just intellect in general. He is a controversial figure, I do think he's one of those guys that, his intelligence got him to the position that he's in. But now the fame is becoming a little bit more of an issue. Like he's definitely enjoying celebrity status. So that's a little problematic. I believe that he does have the interest, like the good interest of humanity and America in general. I think he does have good intentions, and he wants good for people. He wants he just wants the best for humanity, is what I do truly believe that. I don't think he's a bad guy. And it's funny because nobody really thought of him that way until he aligned with Donald Trump. The second you say that you're a Donald Trump guy, you are just enemy number one. And like I said, I do think there is something to be said, and that is somewhat fishy, or not fishy, odd about having a non-politician in a government position like that. I mean, obviously we could say the same about Donald Trump. But having him in charge of things like that. I'm doing one of these. There's I believe he's going to do good, and I trust that he's has the best interest of the American people in mind. But then I'm like, it's hard to trust a billionaire, and what's his qualifications? But ultimately, I still land on the side where I don't believe that he's here to do harm. I hope I'm right. You know what I mean? I'm just going with my gut here. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't trust politicians any more than I trust anybody else. In fact, I trust politicians the least among anybody else. So, it's like, what the hell was I trying to say? I don't remember. No, I don't trust politicians. That's what I was saying. Yeah, I don't trust them. So I'm not going to put a politician in charge of the money. We know there's corruption going on. There's a reason they're trying to stop him from exposing all this shit, because they're losing out on their money. So, what do you do about that? It's a catch-22, I'll tell you that. I'm just sitting here hopeful that that this is a good thing. You know what I mean? Because you never know, right? I'm never going to be like, I'm 100% sure that this is a good situation. I'll always be a little bit skeptical, but I am hopeful. And then, of course, the whole Nazi salute thing with Elon, I don't even really want to dive too much into that because it was a while ago. I mean, here's what I'll just say on the record as my own personal opinion. I do not believe that he intentionally was throwing up a Heil signia or whatever, a Nazi salute. I don't believe that. Now, do I believe that it looked like that? Yeah. I mean, it looks bad. But if you just think for a moment, anybody who I am the most anti-Nazi, anti-racist, I am not for that. I do not believe for that. And then, everybody's going to take a side. Anybody who's a hardcore left wing is going to be like, he's a Nazi, he did that. They've been saying that about Trump forever too. And then the right is going to come to his defense, Like, if I truly believed that he did that, I would be the first to say, fuck that. Like, that is not cool. If you take the context of the situation and what was happening there and all that, and he's a weird, awkward guy anyway. Like, I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just telling you what I think. I don't think it was meant to be that way. And of course, everybody's going to jump. And the thing that drives me crazy, right? The thing that just pisses me off is, I'll say that. I'll be like, I personally don't believe that that's what he was doing. I don't think that was his intention. And then people are going to be like, well, you side with Nazis then. Like, it definitely was. So your opinion that he was doing that is just right because you say it is? I mean, I'm not saying that mine is right. I'm just telling you what I believe. The fact that you believe that that's what it was, I can't change that. Like, okay. But the fact that you're like, no, it definitely was. Like, you're a Nazi sympathizer. I'm just telling you what I think happened. I'm telling you what I believe was the case. And I just don't think that he was trying to do that. I think it looked bad, yes, but I don't think that was what he was trying to do. I mean, sorry if that's my opinion. But the second you try and, give an opinion like that, they're like, you're evil, you're hateful. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, no. Like I said, if I truly believed that was the case, I would not stand for that. I would never side with something like that. Hate like that. That's horrible. But it's so upsetting to see how quickly people will just tear each other apart over, you know what I mean? Like, I it's gotta be so exhausting being, like, so invested in hating politicians. And, like, did you see what he said today? Did you see what they did today? Like, did you hear about this? It's like, dude, do you have nothing else in your life? Like, half the shit you hear on the left or the right, no matter, good, bad, whatever, most of it is propaganda. It's one of those sides propping up this position or pushing this agenda or pushing this thing. It's never, when it comes to politics, it's never what you think. It's never as it appears. It's never as so transparent. So if you're on the right championing, being like, they were, this was a good thing or this was a bad, screw the left, the right is good, or vice versa. It's usually because something is propping that up to seem that way. You know what I'm saying? So it drives me crazy knowing that people are just like tearing each other's throats out over this bullshit. And I get it. Like, I do understand, like, there are legit concerns and, like, there are, like, real consequences to certain political actions. But actually, I didn't even think about this. I need to, like, look this up. Trump said about the Hamas, the hostages, that they needed to be released by today, or all hell was going to break loose. So I feel like I would have seen something about that, but I'm not seeing anything too much here. So at least all hell didn't break loose yet. Says they freed 3 more hostages though, so I guess that's good. Oh God. Okay. Anyway, yeah, the politics thing. Just how do you? Don't you just like live in constant? There it is again. Oh God. See, all this bullshit is just making me. I'm allergic. I'm allergic to all this bullshit talk. I feel like it's an exhausting life to constantly be just like feeding on like anger and hatred and just because that's all it is. People are always just like, he's like bad guy, good guy, bad. It's like, it's never that simple, brother. You gotta know better than that. Anyway, I can't. I'll die of allergies if I keep talking about it. So, as dark as this episode was, I know, and I apologize. I apologize that, we started off on a very somber, heavy note, but I had to talk about it, and I had to like just give my thoughts and send my condolences and all that, and. So I apologize for, bringing the mood down, but I think it's only right that we end this episode with a positive note and try and leave you guys laughing out there. Because that's, we want to spread positivity, really. That is the goal here. So I thought, what better way to, end off an episode that was heavy and dark, a little dark, than with some laughter. So let's do a try not to laugh challenge. I'm going to try and find a good try not to laugh video and see if I can hold it back. Okay? So, and you play along with. So let's get that set up here. All right. Now, first off, I do recognize the irony of me saying, let's end this with a laugh and then try not to laugh. But these should be funny, hopefully, whenever you see these internet compilations, you never know if they're actually going to be funny or not. But either way, they should be lighthearted, which is a good way to end this arrow. But see if we can try not to laugh.
Hello, everyone. This is your yearly dose of internet.
You ready? Mix it up. Mix it.
Hey, babe. Would you still love me if I was fat?
Yeah, of course.
But Mom, you are fat.
I can see.
I can't do it. My tummy hurts.
Oh, I've seen this one. This is hilarious. What is that?
This guy overinflated a basketball.
What's your craziest college experience?
People laughing is just always funny. Oh,
This YouTuber was told that it would cost $23,000 to replace the battery in his 8-year-old Tesla. So instead, he decided to blow it up with dynamite.
Damn. Oh, God. That's good. Took her eyelash off.
Because.
Boy. You can't even. What are you hitting him with? You have no other arm.
Animals are always funny. Jesus. Pigs are fuckers. Fuck that.
Alright, I know it's been a while.
Have you ever seen a cow that looks like The Rock? This museum has a screener to see if you'd be able to vote in the United States back in 1870.
Are you white? No. Are you a man? No.
This Twitch streamer is proof that you shouldn't believe everything you see on the internet.
I will quickly show you why I have a green screen today. I am not making my bet today.
We're gonna swing by, pick up some coffee.
Holy cow! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
See that thing?
Yeah.
These students were playing musical chairs when one student thought of a big brain move.
Oh yeah, I've seen this. Does he do a flip? This is badass. That was great. I love that. That was sick.
Were those pants?
The police came to arrest this guy
Okay, that got
hiding
me.
in a
That
hotel
got me.
room, but he had other plans instead.
You just keep putting your don't tense up, man. Don't tense up, man. Where are you going?
Excuse me, miss, do you by any chance work at a library?
I do not.
That's so crazy, because just like a book, I'm checking you out.
Smooth.
Hi. Would you choose money or happiness?
Sleep.
What the fuck? Oh wow.
Depress brake pedal to start? Okay. You are a failure. Nobody loves you. Die.
You got covered up.
Yeah.
Scientists found this weird, uncoordinated frog species that can jump, but almost never lands on their feet.
What the hell?
Would you rather marry someone right now that your parents picked out or be single for the rest of your life?
I'm an orphan.
All right.
Alright, whoa!
Duncan. 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 Duncan.
These people threw some money into a wishing well.
What'd you wish for?
What do you think I wished for? Excuse me? Can I record you? What's the coolest thing you found here?
Best thing?
Yeah, what's the best thing?
You three, but my wife won't let me bring you home.
Alright. We'll go out on that. That was good. Okay. For once, we actually found some decent internet videos. Because I'll tell you what, most of the time, they are not that good. So those are some pretty fun ones. A couple of them got me. Hopefully you guys, hopefully that's like a light note to go out on and something that you guys could enjoy as well. So make sure to tell your loved ones that you love them. All you need is love. That's what John Lennon said, man. All you need is love. Love is all you need. So tell your loved ones that you love them. Bring goodness into your life. Positivity. Because through darkness, we shine light. Most importantly, though, don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it.
Just gotta keep on